Hey people, Mike Martins here with the Mike Martins channel. Thanks for joining, liking, subscribing, and being part of the channel. Canada is in need of a massive distraction. Canada is in desperate need of a gigantic distraction now. As the narrative falls apart and people are waking up to basically being had or basically waking up to the current nightmare some of these families are going through right now, it's apparent that Canada is in desperate need in an emergency mode. A lot of countries are switching to climate emergency or climate change mode emergencies to create the distractions. Some places are even bringing back masks as mandates, and Canada is in desperate need of a distraction. Now I'm going to show you guys why, what's going down, and how it's going down. And Canada, in my opinion, needs Donald Trump more than they could ever imagine. And why do they need Donald Trump? Because it's the best distraction piece for families at home, to divide families and to bring that back to the table. When Donald Trump was in presidency in the United States, me living here in Canada, just the amount of divide, the amount of hate. Trump is a racist 24/7 on the mainstream media. 24/7, Trump is a bully. Trump is this, Trump is that. Canada needs a distraction like this now for it to pick up its pieces and continue with its eyes closed and blindness towards what is really happening in Canada. So let's take a look at what's happening now and why Canada is in need of a major distraction. So, front page, nothing angers me more than basically going to Canadian news. I don't really look at this news, but Donald Trump is on the front page, front and center. And basically the distraction is being kicked off. And as Republicans lick their wounds, but they don't discuss about the cameras going dark and the election fixing that's going down in the South. A lot of people think that that's just... Actually, I had a lady in here tell me, and I was watching the election here on my television, and I had a lady come and tell me that, oh, this is good. I hope the Democrats win all this stuff, because I go, but they're cheating. And you know what she said? I know they're cheating, but sometimes cheating is good if it's for a good cause. Wow, really? And I asked her what she did. She works for the government. So people working in the government sector need this status quo to keep going and the suffering of their own people to keep going forward. Wow. There it is right there. So here it is. Now, Trump to launch new White House bid while Republicans lick their wounds. So there it is in Canada. It's going to come back, and I think this is the distraction that Canada needs, as RCMP caught off guard by Ottawa's mayor's request for officers during Freedom Convoy. They need to distract away from that. They need to distract away from booking doctor appointments, a nightmare as parents struggle with long wait times. That's our socialized medicine. That's also falling apart. Specialist doctors reports 1 million BC patients on wait lists. And again, our mainstream media, will you sign the petition to defund the CBC, Canadians Broadcasting Crap, and end the media bailout? So Canadians are paying for government-backed paid media. Again, the distractions. And Ontario's top doctor recommends wearing masks indoors as healthcare system faces potential triple threat. And we know why this is happening. We know why people are getting sick. I can't say it on here. And Canadian real estate has a money laundering and fraud problem, intelligence report. Canada's been in this money laundering. Canada fined a Chinese state-owned bank for anti-money laundering and non-compliance. Canada's been in this money laundering scam for many years. How corrupt as money laundering estimate hits 113 billion. Canada is in the top, one of the top countries for laundering money because of our Vancouver model, and Canada has basically disenfranchised their own middle class. Then let's not forget what the Biden regime did during his administration. He canceled the Keystone Pipeline. Canceled after Biden revokes key permits. America's been canceling, during the Biden administration, 30,000 plus drilling permits for oil and tons of, I don't know how many coal sector permits or sector applications to drill for coal and get energy affordable. And they basically said, no, we don't want that. We want to impoverish people. And that's why we've been talking about this dark winter. That's why we've been talking about this for over a decade now. and how these things are starting to play out. Now, I live in a city where 95 or 90% of the people think Obama needs to come back, that Obama is the best standing president. Where I live here in Canada, people believe that the Biden's going through what he's doing because they're cleaning up Trump's mess from the previous administration. That's the complete opposite. And I want people to understand what is going on and how it's going on and how Canada is in desperate need of a major distraction. That's why Canada needs to bring that Donald Trump back. Donald Trump needs to get back in office to save ratings for mainstream media, to get the Trump's a bully back out there. They need full-time Donald Trump's a racist to kind of settle things down through our healthcare sector, our education sector, everything that's falling apart in Canada. Canada is in desperate need. This climate change or climate emergency, I don't know how far they could get with this in Canada, because I think people are starting to wake up, and a distraction is much needed in Canada to continue the BS, to continue forward with the BS. And this is for people that you can't find on English news, or Canadian news. Fast and Furious just might be President Obama's Watergate. Now, a lot of people here don't know that President Obama sent tens of thousands of firearms over international border into Mexico and directly into the hands of criminal. Hasn't been pursued by any army reporters. So what's been happening is Obama, one of the greatest standing presidents in the universe, unfortunately doesn't have such a clean record, but you can't find any of this stuff that he was funding drug cartels in Mexico, and how America dropped 5 years ago. And again, this is The Guardian, so people that work for the government could see that. Well, where'd you get that from? There it is. America dropped 26,171 bombs in 2016. What a bloody end to Obama's regime. And every 24 hours, he dropped 3 bombs during his administration. This is the problem that we're facing here. We're facing a problem where everything is going to be always one-sided, and it's always going to be to the one side. The pendulum is trying to swing back. We've been talking about the pendulum now for 2 years, or 2.5 years now, where in 2019, people were protesting no confidence in governments. Go back to episodes of Mike of the Night from 2019. We had call-ins from Chile, Argentina, Honduras, Brazil, caller from France. We had callers in from Hong Kong. We had callers in from Thailand. We had callers in from India. There was protesting happening all over the world in 2019 as no confidence in government, and they switched it or flipped it as climate emergency. And you guys know this from watching the channel all these years. Canada needs a massive distraction if its administration wants to continue forward disenfranchising middle-class Canadians. I've been trying to wake up people to this for so long. I've been trying to wake up people to make them realize how basically their great-grandkids don't have a future in this country, and that's where it's headed. Can't afford our own real estate, can't afford all the permits that they're throwing at us. They're taxing us to death. They're going to raise property taxes. The carbon tax is killing us. Canada needs a massive distraction, and only Donald Trump would be the one to come in. And if he could get 4 years in office, what will happen is Canada will change their tune back to Trump as a racist, because that's all we had on the news for 4 years here in Canada. And this will boost the ratings. Hopefully they will not need government bailouts on the mainstream media. These are all public sector workers. They all work for the government. And this is the problem that we're facing here. And this, but this could cause an investigation to the north. Right? So Canada needs to kind of balance itself out, because if you get a Republican president in, they may, because look it up, in 2019 and early 2020, America was looking at Canada like a potential threat to their security. So let me know in the comments below, what would Canada use as its next distraction? Is it Donald Trump? I'm thinking like the media is warming up to Donald Trump now, warming up. The second he announces or whatever he's going to decide to do, the media will be all over it like stormtroopers into Poland. You're going to see what I'm talking about. So I wanted to put this out there. Canada in need of a massive distraction, and why Canada needs Donald Trump more than ever to create this something, because people are waking up as the status quo completely falls apart, and what they've been telling us, and trust the science, it's all political science, trust this, trust that. We're in dire straits here big time. Big time. It's beyond imaginability that you could ever fathom. And things will get worse. And things will have to, I don't know what's going to happen. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken.